Greetings, this is Chester with the Sampleist, and our sonic journey today is Pinkertone's Infinity Volume 1. Before we dive in, I'd like to make it crystal clear that the copy of this library we're reviewing was graciously provided to us by the developer. However, let me assure you that our commitment to delivering honest and transparent reviews remains unwavering. Our goal is to arm you with all the information you need to decide if this library deserves a spot in your musical toolkit. Pinkertone Infinity Volume 1 is a unique sample library created by the talented composer Benjamin Pinkertone. Designed for composers who thrive in the realms of action, drama, sci-fi, and hybrid music, this library is a treasure trove of inspiration. What sets Infinity apart is its blend of user-friendly design and advanced sound manipulation capabilities. The joy of this library is in its flexibility. Combine and tweak different sound layers to create your unique presets. Whether you're scoring for a high-stakes action scene, an eerie sci-fi sequence, or an intense drama, this library adapts seamlessly to your needs. Occupying approximately 16 gigs, it's packed with 355 snapshots, 663 individual patches or layers, and almost 6,000 samples. The library's standout features is its Infinity Blender, allowing for innovative layering and sound manipulation, offering composers endless creative possibilities. Designed for Context 6.7.1 or higher, Infinity is both accessible and versatile. Priced at $159, or you can get a 20% discount available when you sign up with their newsletter. It's an investment in your creative arsenal.
So here we have Infinity. I just started with the sound, just wanted to get the ball rolling with the drone. Typically I start with the initialized patch, but we'll get there later. This UI is very deep, so we'll talk about that in a second. A lot of really great sounds. It's organized in a pretty great way. I had to organize it a bit further. Not that that's a problem or an issue, but drones are drones, and we can start with those. Let's just grab another one. What's a theme to this library, and I'll talk about it a lot, is movement. Tons of movement that every patch can approach. When you also create your own, and you'll see how easy it is to do that. You can get a lot of movement really fast. Let's go do something else here. Effects is awesome. I'm not going to touch these. It gets really hot. You're going to want to turn your volume down when you hit these and start looking through them. I'll go here and I'll bring it down a little bit. Another thing about this library is I believe when it kicks off, your volume will be pretty high. You're going to want to turn that down a little bit. It does get pretty loud. These hits are awesome. They got layers to them, and they're set up really nice. So you can just load some up and get going. If I don't like any of these layers, I can turn them off with this power button. Or if I want to know what layers do and what, I can solo them. So say I don't want that, I just want kind of the hit, we'll find it. Although I do like that layer, we'll take that off too. So there we go, it's the impact right here. So if I take this all off, I'm just left with that impact now. Oh, forgot to turn that one off. that easy to kind of turn these sources on or off. You can also go in and look at them. We'll do that when we talk about the initialized patch. Let's keep going. Also in effects, we have some sweeps. And as you can see, anytime you press a key, this Infinity Blender starts moving around. I'm not controlling that. I'm not using the mod wheel or anything like that. That is how the UI and how the library functions. And it's blending all 4 sound sources. And then you have Infinity Depth, which is going to control the depth of the blender. And then this rate, where you can turn that on or off. If I have it off, it's not going to move. If I have it on, it is. And then this controls the rate at the speed at which it moves. I also have the ability to add 2 effects that globally will control, and I can set them down here. Typically, you'll see the top one is commonly used, the bottom one is used sometime. And then we have velocity sensitivity, where we can set that as well. That's another global setting. All these down here are global. High tonal pulses. A lot of pulses and sequences and rhythms in this library that are dialed up and ready for you to go. Something I've tried looking for a couple times is the ability to maybe EQ these a little bit on my own. Each sample source has options here that you can control that source individually. So if I solo this one, I can come in here and I can set the ADSR, volume, pan, tune. I can set some LFOs to it, like a little matrix here. And then I have this arpeggiator and a transpose here, but I don't have, which is different than this one, these two, but I don't have the ability to EQ, which they do a really good job of blending these if you're going through the patches. If you're creating your own, you're going to have to just use other essential or standard ways of kind of separation of the sounds, which can be done. Let's do another pulse. I'll turn it back up again because we had it kind of quiet earlier for the hits. Let's keep going. So we got some reversers, and I like how they add the bars here. They let you know over the course of how many bars you're going to get that whole reverse. Let's do some of these 2-bar ones. Let's do this one. Bring it down the volume a little bit. These are great. I've used these quite a bit, and also because you're getting some movement in this reverse as it's, you know, gaining tension and rising. It's also kind of moving around a bit, and that's really exciting and something that you want in a sound like this. Let's do another one. Also, what's fun is a lot of these can be MIDI CC, so you can move these to the DAW and automate further if you're looking to create more, you know, tension and more movement over time with these reverses. I did that a little bit too. All right, let's talk about these rhythms. They're separated in 3 here. We have combos, and the combo is going to be of highs and lows. So we'll grab a combo here and check it out. A lot of awesome layer here in rhythm and movement. These sweepers are kind of fun. So We haven't dove into this yet, but this is how you can grab your sources for your layers, and a lot of options. I believe we're looking at over 6,000 samples here. So if you're looking to make your own, and we will in a minute, you can create them very easily. Just kind of wanted to show that off here. But all these are coming from High Rhythm, and it's just sweeping through them. So if we look down, I think it's this. All these high rhythms are here, and you can kind of look at them by BPM, grab all or clear it. You can do a lot of things here. So that's the rate going through them. So that makes this really powerful when you have a sweeper like this. By the way, I just updated my whole system to Ventura from Mojave, which was quite an update. But I was using Infinity on Contact 6 back on the Mojave, and UI was working all right, but it slowed down a little more with the amount of tracks I have. It's working amazingly here in Ventura on Contact 7. And in my demo, I'm still using Contact 6, and it looks great there too. But I wanted to note, if you're on a really old operating system, you might have some issues with the UI bogging on you a little bit. It didn't change the sound at all. The sound still worked, and I was able to compose because I'm not visually looking at this while I'm composing. So it wasn't a blocker or anything like that. I'm just kind of mentioning, if you have maybe like a laptop a little slower or things like that, you might start seeing some of this, but just pay mind to listening to it. I don't need to really know where this is sometimes. All right, now we're moving to sequences. These are a lot of fun. Something to also be mind to is down here in the keyboard, you're going to see the range of which the notes you can play. And depending on that range, sometimes you're not going to get every layer. So up here, I'm getting the pad. Still a little hot. So you can use that to your advantage, or you can keep all the layers, kind of however you're looking to do it. But just notice that if you're looking at this and you see only one going, try a different key, maybe more towards middle C, and see if that triggers all your sounds or not. Let's do one more sequence here. Sparta at 120. I like how they give you the BPMs. Move to synths. A few options here. You have movement synths, and then this synth bass down here. Let's just grab one of these movement synths. Let's grab another synth here. Yeah, so you can get some modulation and some other distortion and some other time-based effects here under the diamond. And that is per layer, so I can set them however I want. I can see delay and reverb is on all these. We have some lo-fi on this one, and then some chorus on this one. Have some fun with that delay. All right, let's look at the synth bass. There might be more options for synth bass, by the way. I got to imagine in here. Yeah, we got a few layers of synth bass and some bass plucks. Oh yeah, bass. Click that. Yeah, so we got quite a few here. So even though there's one snapshot, there's several ways of making bass. You can probably have a lot of fun with that. Tonal hits, these are fun. That's another thing I suggest with this library is once you've organized it yourself and you start saving some of these presets, just the volumes so that you get a little easier kind of with the staging. Each one kind of gets all over the place, so you just got to kind of accommodate that. And it's significant. I think the only reason why I'm really bringing it up is, I mean, even moving from synth to tonal hit, I've dropped it like maybe like 9 dB, if that, and just so it doesn't sound like it's distorting. But the sounds are great once you get that locked in. This one I can turn up. The layers of these hits, it's really awesome. Do one more. And then down here we have hit drones. I gotta say, it was a lot of fun to go through the sounds first to get a really great idea on what this library can do for you. And as you can see, it can do a lot. And the theme, again, movement, even with just like a tonal hit like that, where you just kind of want an impact and, you know, have it do its job for your music, feel free to have some movement with that impact, you know, and that's what's kind of showing you. All right, so with initialize here, we'll end with this. And this is where you can get your 4 layers, and then you have your global settings here. And so if I go and click anywhere there, I can start looking at my layers, and they're categorized here for me. And if we say, let's start with a pad, I got 2 options here. So let's grab Tropical Dream. Hear what that sounds like. Sounds kind of like tape. Let's turn that up though so you can hear it a little bit too. Although as we add layers, it's probably gonna get louder. Let's grab another layer. Let's say I had fun with one of these kicks. It is. All right, so I'm gonna use that kind of as a bass 808 like thing with this pad. Let's grab a third thing. Let's do a lot of sequences. So let's just grab one of these. Let's go over 100. We'll just grab this one in light of time. That kick is awesome. Every time I make a patch, I almost try to include it. Let's give it a little more decay though. Let me turn it down a little bit more. Turn this up a little bit more. the blender is kind of going a little too fast for him, so I'm going to slow that down. For the moment, I almost usually suggest turn those off at first, although that one was no depth on it, so it should be fine. But you can select here, this first one's your mixer, so you got your volume, your pan, and your tuning. And this is really good if you want to like get really granular with your tuning. Notice that it's not semitones and decimal, so. And then you have your ADSR here, and then here if you want to make it like to gated or make it like arpeggiate. Do that here. And then you have your options for backward, random, chord, held note, all these things. The amount of steps, the rate in which you want it to move. Here's your little matrix for your LFOs. So you can set the waveform of your LFO, your destination. So like with this pad, let's go here and let's set it to pan. We'll do sine, just make it smooth. Go to pan. There we go. We'll spice up some movement there, and we can go to this next one, which are more effects. So we can do high pass, low pass, high pass, add a compressor, and then we get a couple options under it to work further. And then here at the end, transpose, and this is good for like if you want to like jump up like 12 or not. Yeah, that hasn't been working for me. That wasn't working for me in the other one either. I got to slide up or down, I think. That's how this has been working. There we go. We're getting there. That's semitone, so now that's up an octave, and then these can remain where they are, which is really nice. So if you want a sound to be up further, why I like this kick is it's kind of an 808, so I'll keep that down. But if I wanted to turn this one up or down, I could. And yeah, that's how you can kind of create something. And then here at the end, if you want to add some phase or delay to the whole global setting, you can here, and then set the sensitivity and you're good to go. Those are the presets. So let's check out the track we made. All right, so we're looking at Veiled Whispers, which is the track I wrote with Infinity, and I used Infinity for the whole entire track. The first thing I did was I arranged all the presets and kind of grouped them into categories of sounds that I would need to get this piece done. And this track, I originally intended to go epic trailer, but as I started diving in, really understanding this library, I felt very inspired and felt that I should go tension cue because of the amount of movement that you can get through this library. And it's a huge, huge strength to go that route. So I ended up choosing that type of cue instead. Not to say that it couldn't do epic. I think I just would need more time with it and with processing and things like that, which it can get there for sure. Sorted everything out into like I have booms up here where we're going to have like a nice boom impact hit throughout the piece. A lot of options there in the library. We also have this bass synth at the end, which I think was the last thing I added. And funny enough, I added it because I saw there's a preset for bass synth down here. Yeah, it's the only one. So I was like, let's add it in. And it sounds great. So that made it in Act 3. A lot of hits. I ended up going with quite a few. There's tonal hits as well. So I added them together, but there's so I got kind of like a Brahm style hit there. Also, it sounds kind of like it's clipping a bit. Make sure you check your levels. I did dial things back quite a bit in this library, so I wasn't clipping, but I still am. I looked at my main bus and I'm clipping pretty hard. It still sounds all right. Oh yeah, rhythm, these rhythm elements. Here's the first part of like movement. And I think I started with a high one and then I added a low one, but I had a lot of rhythms and sequences and things that you can add to get your movement going. And then so that Infinity blender is blending through 4 rhythms right now, which is kind of making a rhythm in itself. Same with this low one. It's blending through these. And we have some drones to kick us off. Not that one. Looks like these. And the drones are awesome in this library. This is one of the first ideas I remember working with. A lot of really awesome movement with this drone. Not to mention the notes and one thing this library doesn't have, and I really wanted it to, you can get it elsewhere, is filter movement. You can go in to each of these and you can change your notes. You can change amplitude. Here I have an LFO to change the, where is destination says none, but pan. So I can change my stereo movement, like volume, pitch. Oh, there is low pass right here. But I wanted it global for this patch specifically, and I don't believe I had the ability to do that. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, I can use filtering on them individually, but globally, I wasn't able to find that. So I used it in Ableton with an auto filter, and that's what this automation here is giving me some of that. Let's see, pulses, a lot of options here for more movement. One of these, yeah, and I do have an auto pan here, but I did add some in a few of these. LFO, yeah, I was looking for it in there, but it's here. So we have an LFO with the pan. I think there's another one. Maybe it was just the one. Then I decided the whole thing. Oh, here we go, 2. They're kind of going a little bit differently, and then just decided to get another one, kind of end up pan it more for that stereo spread and get some movement there. I think the same thing. Nope, not here. There's enough movement going on with this idea. Another kind of rhythm. I'm surprised this one's here, not kind of in the drums. There. Let's see. The synthesizers are a lot of fun. So we got our, you can decide how fast your blender moves. It was flying here a second ago, but I believe this is the rate that you show. Yeah, and I saw it flying and I was like, what? I thought 1:1 would make it a little slower, but it might just be an animation thing. I think this one was my pad. And then this is a pedal tone that's just really high. That kind of went over everything, I believe. Yeah. I think I originally had it in the intro and then I moved it around a little bit. The effects are awesome. I'll show you kind of why, especially with like a tension cue. This is a great riser. Really, I had to put this in. And that gets you right in the song. This says reverse up here, but it's not. It was an impact hit. So some of the naming is kind of a little bit off, but let's see. This was a sweep I ended up using, kind of like a whoosh. Okay, just transitional effect, and then we have a few sounds that are getting us through this act 2. And that's pretty much the track. So as you can see, it was all infinity and a lot of movement that comes from infinity. I only had to, even when I needed to, just small subtle things. And then a lot of auto filter because I wanted to address the whole patch globally, not just one of the sounds. So if anything, I would like to maybe see some of that down the road, especially with that blender. And to show you what I mean, talking about this here, maybe there's some sort of option here for global filtering. And then you get the rate here where you can set that. And then your effect, you're going to see the rate right there visually, which is awesome. And that's Veiled Whispers.
It's time to wrap up our journey with some final reflections. After thoroughly exploring this instrument's capabilities, it's evident that this library's craftsmanship is top-notch. While Infinity is marketed primarily for action, drama, and sci-fi genres, it truly excels in crafting investigational, suspense, and tension-filled cues. The library's ability to create these nuanced and intricate soundscapes is nothing short of fantastic. Its strength lies in its subtlety and depth, making it an exceptional choice for tension and suspenseful hybrid cues. It will go straight into my main template. The versatility, combined with the user-friendly interface and the innovative Infinity blender, makes it a joy to use. This library not only inspires, but also enhances the creative workflow, allowing composers to delve deep into sound design with ease and sophistication. In conclusion, Pinkertone Infinity Volume 1 is more than just a sample library, it's a source of endless inspiration. Its unique sound palette, coupled with its ease of use and flexibility, makes it an essential tool for composers looking to add depth and character to their music. Whether you're scoring for film, TV, video games, Infinity Volume 1 is a worthy addition to your sonic arsenal. This is Chester signing off from the Sampleist, and I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you're hungry for more insightful reviews, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay tuned with all things the Sampleist. Until our paths cross again, keep having fun making your music. Cheers.